Hey guys, it's Miss Monique. I'm making this video. It's gonna be posted afterwards. But I'm 55 years old, single, and live alone. I do have 2 cats, and in my 55 years, I've never experienced any kind of physical abuse or anything like that. And I moved, because you 55, you single, retired, just relaxing, living your life. You just want peace. And I had peace. I knew the place where I moved to. I've only been in that previous place for 1 year. I knew that I wanted to move, like to find a final, like a place. So as you've seen in my videos, I went to Texas, I went to New Mexico, I went to Memphis, and I didn't go to Kansas, but I looked at places in Kansas. Just something different, I'm 55. I don't have any small kids or anything like that, so I can move to wherever I want to. Go wherever you want, do whatever you want. So, I went to a lot of places in Texas. If you look back at my videos, you'll see so many places. Amarillo, Lubbock, Houston, San Antonio, and I went to Memphis, Tennessee, but only near that Beale Street area. I looked at 2 places there which were very nice. I think I did a video if you go back and look, but at any rate, I live on the first floor of an apartment. I used to live on the first floor of an apartment, and the people that lived above me, the guy was very abusive, and I never experienced that. And when somebody is going through that and you live in an apartment, everybody's going through it, because everybody has to hear the hollering, the screaming, the knocking, the banging, screaming for their life, yelling for their life, help me, help me, help me. Everybody in the building is hearing that, and you're involving everyone in the building when you do that. And it was just devastating for me, to have never experienced that in my life. I just didn't know how to handle that. I didn't know what I'm supposed to do about that. What can I do? You just don't know. And people are so crazy these days. You just don't know people's mindsets. You don't know what anybody can do. And so on the first occasion, when it first happened, I don't remember the month, y'all, but when it first happened, me and the person that lives next to them, we both went to the door. We was knocking and banging on the door, because the girl is hollering for help. She's screaming. Thin as a toothpick. I don't know how. It's like how she survives, how she can take it. She's so skinny, y'all. So skinny. And I mean, this is serious knocking and banging, like some construction work kind of stuff. And she opens the door. She's crying. He never comes to the door. He never comes near the door. But she's able to come out and say, I'm okay. Even though we hear her hollering and screaming, right? So apparently the neighbor, like right next to her, had been through that or a similar situation. And so she could speak to the young lady more than I can, because all I can do is say, listen, I'm going to call the police. That's all I know. I'm going to call the police, because what can I do? I don't know, and you're hollering for help. So we're coming. You know what I'm saying? Okay, so she talks more with the girl that has been involved in a similar situation, made it out, and she's talking to the girl. Okay, so that night happened. Okay, maybe, I don't know, maybe a month later, it happened again. So again, I go up, the neighbor comes out, she comes out, she's crying, she's saying she's okay, and I'm just like, listen, if I hear it again, I'm going to call the police. I told her that right there at the door. I said, listen, I'm going to call the police if I hear it again. That's what I'm going to do. Okay, so that went, I don't know. At that time, I was not doing a journal, y'all. I was not like writing it down, or that's why I don't remember when it happened. But at any rate, at that time, there were no kids. I never seen any kids. It's just the two of them. And then she had a little dog, like a miniature poodle, something like that. It was a real small dog. And it would be rare that you would see her outside. But she would, be outside. And even one point I saw her, this is after the first two occasions, that, when I went upstairs and I said, if it happens again, I'm going to call the police. I saw her, and she had actually spoke. She was smiling, had the little dog, and she seemed a little happy. Well, he was back. I don't know where he was or how long he was gone. I don't know. I just lived my life, mind my business, and don't want no problems. So what happens is, I hear commotion in front of my patio. It's dark outside, but I hear a commotion. What I heard was the dog yelping. Okay. Apparently he had kicked the dog. Now, remember I told you this is like a miniature poodle. I mean, this dog weighed less than 10 pounds, if that. And I heard her say, why did you kick my dog? Well, he kicked the dog again. The dog yelped again. So I don't know what she did, but when I came, because I heard it, I was in my room, and then I went to my living room, and he was choking her. I got on the phone so quick and called the police, and it's like as soon as I opened up the door, the police was right there, but she was gone. She had got in a car and left. And enough where they saw her when she got in the car, they wanted her to stop, but she didn't stop. And so they ran, one officer ran one way and one ran the other way, whatever. And I just came, into my house. Well, they went upstairs and they brought him outside, or he came outside or whatever, and they were talking out in front of the patio. I guess, whatever, I reported that he was choking her out and had kicked the dog twice. Okay, so that happened, and I'm gonna say they was outside for about 30 minutes, and then he went back upstairs because I guess she's gone, so I guess they can't do anything. I don't know anything about this, y'all. I don't know anything about domestic violence. I don't know anything about how it works or whatever the case may be. But they left. So when they left, as soon as they left, he came out on his balcony. First, he bammed something real hard in the living room area. I don't know what he did. I don't know what. I guess he was still mad, and he bammed something, but it was for me. He came out on his balcony and told me to mind my MFing business. Mind your MFing business. He said that twice. And then when he went back in, he bammed something hard again. I don't know what it was, y'all. So I was like, okay. So I don't know what day that was, but that happened. Then, like a couple of days later, he had put the dog on the balcony. It was in a cage because the way the balcony is made, it's like plywood planks, so it has the breaks in between, so I could see, when I look up, I could see the cage and the dog, right? And so I don't know, one night I heard the dog yelping. I heard the dog yelping again, and I heard him doing something. He was doing something to the dog. He was mad about, it seems like he was mad with the dog, or he was doing something with the dog, and I'm telling y'all, this dog was like 10 pounds. After that, I never heard from the dog. I never seen the dog again. So I was like, I am an animal lover, and I was like so messed up. Like, his domestic violence messed me up. Because not only was he beating the mess out this girl, thumping, throwing, and she's skinny as a toothpick. I don't know. I had went into like, almost like a depression, I guess. Just, you don't know what's going to happen. You don't know, because I guess he was upset that I called the police, even though I've already told him that I meant what I said. And I did what I said. You out here choking the girl right here in front of my patio. So he was mad. And you don't know people these days. Like I said, I'm single. I live here by myself. I don't know. So one night I came home from work, guys. And my building was, the building where I used to live at, it's open on both ends. Like you could come in from either side. It's only 4 people live in the entire building. And you can enter through either side. You can go up and down the steps or whatever. Well, when I got home, because these people don't work. They don't work. The one being abused and the abuser, they don't work. So they could almost know my schedule. They know my schedule. So when I came home one night, I walked into the building, and it was 2 guys standing on the other side of the building. Talking about, is your name Monica? Even if my name was Monica, do you think I would say it is? I was like, no, and came in my house. But I was scared, y'all, because He's upset. I did call the police, but you are abusing a girl. And you don't know, these days, people are crazy. People will do anything when they upset, mad, whatever. I don't know. So I don't know who those guys were. If they were really looking for somebody named Monica, I don't know. But they scared the living daylights out of me. But from that moment, once I had called the police, I started doing a journal. And you know, I just started journaling things that would happen. Like, he would start playing loud music intentionally, you know. And y'all, I was like in fear. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know. You know, I never seen him with a weapon, but you never know. People are crazy. So I became almost depressed, in fear for my own life. If abuse happened, I wouldn't call the police no more. And yes, it continued. It continued. And so I knew that I had to give a 60-day notice. A 60-day notice if I intended to leave. And, you know, I had been traveling around because I'm looking for a place to live. Like, I need to be somewhere where I can feel safe, where I can be in peace and don't have to worry about anything. You know what I'm saying? You still have to worry about things because anything can happen at any time, any place. You know, God has the final say about everything. But I knew that I needed to leave that place. I needed to leave because it wasn't healthy for me. You know, you can't hardly sleep. You can't hardly think. Now when I'm coming home, I got to do like a security surveillance to make sure nobody's outside and, you know, in one end of the building and not waiting for me. I don't know. And I just knew that I had to leave. And when I went to the rental office, you know, I finally showed, because I've been journaling. And I think the initial journaling was like February 24th. That's when I think it started, February 24th, with the constant loud music, all hours of the night, abuse to the girl upstairs. It gotta be God that saved her because she's so skinny and he was just knocking and banging her to the wall, to the floor. She's hollering and screaming. You know, the girl that lived next to them, they moved out. Couple that lived across from me, they moved out. The people that lived under their neighbor moved out. And it was just one guy that lived across from them. And he seemed like he was about 50 years old. And I'm saying to myself, there's minding your business, but something in you gotta say, come on, man. But I guess not. And I don't see how he could be right there with all of that. He works. It seemed like everybody in the building was working except for them. So he's playing loud music all time of the night, all hours of the night. I know the man that live across from them works the day shift. I don't know the specific hours, but I know he works the day shift by his goings and comings. Just like they know me, what shift I work. But he had no respect. He has no respect for no one in this building. Especially when it comes to playing loud music like you at the club. That kind of loud music, y'all. I mean, it's just terrible. So when I went to the rental office to give my 60-day notice, and because I had found a new place to live, And I just gave him my phone. And this guy is a church going guy, and he was like, I wish you would have said something. I wish you would have come to the office. But I told him, I don't know what this man is capable of. I called the police on him. He still be. He came out and threatened me and said, mind my MFing business. So you never know. I don't want no problems. I just want to get my 60 days left that I had here at this place. Because the guy said, well, do you want to move to another building? I said, no. I need to get out of the community, unfortunately. And I'm going to tell y'all, I don't know when those people moved in and when the abuse started, but it was nice and peaceful. But I knew this was not going to be my final place, because there were some minor things that I didn't like about, like the way the patio was made. Because of course here in Florida, everything is screened in. I love that. But I didn't like the way that it was like a plywood. And so if it rained, they didn't have any cover upstairs. So say that it rained, and it would rain into my patio. So I knew that I wasn't going to stay here. If I want to sit outside or have my mom over when she want to sit outside, you couldn't really be comfortable, because if it rained, the rain come in, it was just... So I knew I wasn't going to, stay in that place. But once that started, I was for sure going to be out of there. So it's like, that's a terrible thing, and, since I have no experience with domestic violence, once that started happening, guys, another thing I started doing is, it's sad, but I started watching stuff on my TV about abuse. And you know what the end result is for that? Is somebody is usually killed. That's the end result, because like I said, the girl rarely went outside. So what could she do so wrong for him to become so enraged from like 0 to 100 in 1 minute and beat her? I mean, I don't know what he was doing to her upstairs. I don't know, because I wasn't up there and I couldn't see through them walls. But what I do know is that it sounded like a full-fledged construction site. A lot of knocking and banging, hard flooring. There's no carpet. I mean, I don't know if they have carpet. If they had carpet, I don't know. But my place did not have any carpet at all. No carpet in my place at all. So I don't know. But I just pray that she makes it out. Because it seems like that for one moment, like one day I heard a family saying, just give me the bags. And to find out, one, that's her place. That's her car that he's driving. Neither one of them work. I don't know how they work it out, whatever they do. I don't know. But for him to have the audacity to not even, that's not even, his name is not even on the lease. That car that he's driving is not his. And he's beating the living daylights out of this girl whenever he get upset, mad, angry, or whatever. Finally, before I know I'm like going all over the place, but it looks like he had a child that's like 2, maybe the little girl was like 2 years old. Because when I saw the little girl coming, I was like, oh my God, you are not bringing a kid into the situation. But apparently, he doesn't have custody, and maybe he gets to see the child every so often, because I did not see the child, like, or maybe I heard the little girl running, maybe at like a week's time. I don't know how often he was getting to see her. I didn't see her a lot, but I know that she was there. So he did have at least he does have a kid, but he is a monster. And like I said, she was very petite, y'all. I'm gonna say she might have weighed 85 pounds. And he wasn't a big guy, because they both were not short, maybe like 5'6". Yeah, 5'6", 5'7", both of them. She's like 85 pounds, and he had a little muscle on him, but he was beating the living daylights out of her. And it just, I was on the countdown, like I could not move fast enough, because it's very depressing, and I felt in fear for a long time after I had reported him. And when I showed the manager at the rental office, and he was like, oh my God, oh my God. And it's just terrible, so I did have the guy at the rental office, I wanted him to send a letter to everybody in the building, even though it's only 3 people in the building. 1, 2, 3. 3 people in the building. 8. It's a 8. I said a 4 apartments. It's not 4 apartments. 1, 2, 3. No, 1, 2, 4. 8 apartments. 2-story, 8 apartments. So it was only 3 people left in the building when I moved out. But what I did was told the rental office to send a notice to everyone in the building about loud music. And they do everything by email or by like a community, not a community chat. So they did that. And the music, they stopped. He stopped playing the loud music. I don't know why, but he stopped playing the loud music. But that is the reason why I moved, guys. And I just pray for any woman or man who's going through domestic violence that you get help. And I just constantly hear to get out. Like, it doesn't end well. They might do, like this guy, I reported in February, okay? Let's say it was February 24th, okay? The next abuse probably happened like a month later. And then another abuse might have happened a couple weeks later. It doesn't stop, guys. There's no end to that. You have to. I am not a domestic violence advocate. I don't know what you should do. I just, like I said, I started watching so many domestic violence things and shows, and they always say make a plan and get out, don't go back. But that was her place. You know what I'm saying? That's her place with her name on the lease, not his name. But I guess in that situation, you have to leave it. You have to have the willpower to leave. Let the rental office know what's going on. Maybe they can help you in some way, but you have to leave and save yourself, because he killed that dog, and the only thing left for him to do is to kill her. Because I'm like, what more can she do? You have the power over her, the ability to make her cry, the ability to cause pain and agony to her. You're the winner, sir. You are the winner, even though you are a big loser. You are the winner. So what more? You know, I just pray that anybody who is watching this video, who is going through abuse, make a plan. And please, I know it can't be easy to make a plan. I know. I don't know. I really don't know. But what I learned by watching TV is you need to make a plan. You need to get out and don't come back. Nothing good comes from that. You know, I think sometimes some women end up killing their abuser, you know, but I don't know. And I've seen even somewhere the people leave or the person gets locked up, and then when they get out, then they go and kill a person. You know what I'm saying? It's just a sad situation all around. But know that, especially if you live in a dwelling where other people live in, everybody suffers. If you have a heart, everybody suffers. You know, it does something to your mental. You know, I can be honest and say that I really felt like, and I've never been depressed. I'm always happy. But that was a depressing situation for me. And I just knew that I needed to get out of the situation. You know what I'm saying? Find a new place, get some peace, have a sound sleep. So that is why I moved. That is why I moved. So I encourage anyone, again, if you are in an abusive relationship, my email, all of my social media is posted. If you want to reach out, if I can help in any kind of way. But that's why I move, y'all.